Hey, what's up? It's Dara, real estate investor, entrepreneur, and consultant out of Atlanta, Georgia. And in this video, I'm going to walk you guys through one of our past deals. It's another creative financing deal. It's been a while since I've had one of these on my channel, but I had a lot of people commenting that they wanted me to produce more content around creative financing, so definitely stay tuned for more. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through, this was actually a pretty house, so we have dabbled into pretty house investing, and I'm going to show you why I think it is a sweet niche. So stay tuned, keep watching, make sure you watch all the way to the end, and if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this and to always stay up to date. Okay, so here I have all of the pertinent figures for this deal. I'm gonna get into that, but before I do, a little bit of background so you guys can understand how I found this lead, how I was able to negotiate and make my offer on these terms. So one of the qualifying questions that I asked the seller to gauge what type of offer I was going to present. So just also with pretty houses, it's never a Mayo formula, it's never a 70% ARV type of ordeal, so that's not even a question. When it's pretty houses, it's always going to be some type of creative financing offer and exit strategy. And that's why I'm going to jump around just a little bit, but that's why you see here the repairs are zero, because it's a pretty renovated house. This was an owner-occupied property. The situation was the seller and his wife and their family, their children, were moving across the country. So he actually reached out to me just before he was going to list it with a realtor. And then here I came and swooped up the deal. And obviously for him, he felt that it was more valuable, it was a win-win to go my route. So repairs, zero. The ARV at the time was $234,500. And to be honest, his property was probably one of the biggest in the area. So, and probably, I think at the time, the only renovated house. So it was hard to find an ARV in that immediate area. So I did have to go out a little bit farther to find homes that were very similar. And if I was not able to find that by going out a little farther, I would have had to find the ARV using price per square foot. So ARV, repairs, and he was asking $215,000, and he was saying that's just for him to recoup his money. He bought it for $205,000 like a year ago or 2 years ago, so he was still pretty much not making much on the sale. But he did tell me, and this is a question you always want to ask your seller, you want to ask them how much they owe on their mortgage. So he was asking $215,000 to recoup his money, and he owed about $192,000 is what he told me. And this is how much he was paying every single month for his mortgage, $1,330 a month. So knowing all that information, and then I skipped the middle part, but I'll get right back to it. So knowing all that information, I'm just crunching numbers, I'm calculating what would be a beneficial offer for him to go with, and then also for me to make money on the back end. Keeping in mind I have several different exit strategies in mind. I could do a subject to with him, and then lease option. I could make it a traditional rental, or I can do a sandwich lease option. So bear with me. So the average rent for a home of his size at the time was $2,069 a month. And he was actually renting out his basement, which was an in-law suite. So he was getting $600 a month in income from his basement. So that's not too relevant, to be honest, but I get every single detail when I am vetting a seller. So this is the info that we have. So I'm gonna erase this and then present my offer to you guys and how I was able to get him to agree with my creative financing terms. On that side are just the numbers that we just went over, including the ARV, price, mortgage monthly payment, and the average rent. And here is the side that you all were waiting for, the offers. And this is actually offers, which is a tip that I want to share with you all. So in the pretty house space, like I said, it's never going to be a wholesale formula that comes into question. It's always going to be some type of creative financing exit strategy and offer. So what I do is I like to always give multiple offers, more than one offer. And if you go back and watch the other video that I posted analyzing between a wholesale deal and a creative financing deal, I did advise you all to always give multiple offers no matter what. Even if it is a vacant, ugly house where you are going to do the ARV formula, I always suggest giving multiple offers to each and every seller. But in the pretty house space, it's always going to be a creative financing offer. My favorite strategy is subject to, so that's always going to be in the picture if there is a mortgage in place. So my first offer was subject to, and here I have consideration. Consideration just meaning it's not a down payment, it's just money that I'm putting towards this offer. So it's what I'm putting down, but there's a difference in technicality and verbiage. So it's not considered a down payment, because a down payment usually means that it's going to go towards something, and that's not the case here. So this is just $5,000 for whether you need it for moving fees or whatever the case was. Like I said, that this seller's particular situation was him and his family were moving across the country. So $5,000 down in consideration for this offer, and then $1,330 a month, which is simply just me taking over his monthly payments. And then the term of this contract or this agreement would be the life of the loan, the length of the loan. So that's what I had offered. And I do have another video, and I actually learned from you guys. I learned from somebody in the comments who asked, with the subject to deal that I mentioned or I posted, he was saying, well, why did you only say 10 or 15 years? Why didn't you just do the life of the loan? And I was like, you know what? It's just what I was taught. I don't know. I didn't know, or I didn't think to do that. So from here on out, thanks for teaching me that. I learned from you guys. From here on out, if I do, or when I do subject to offers, I would always negotiate for the life of the loan. And of course, the homeowner can counter and say, no, 7 years, 10 years, whatever the case is. So the more time you have, the better, regardless. So that was the first offer. And then the second offer that I presented was a lease with the option to purchase or buy, or lease option, lease purchase. So the terms here were the price of $215,000, which is what he was asking. And that's another thing about pretty house investing, is that the seller can ask for whatever they want. And for the most part, 90 to 95 to 99% of the time, you can give them the price that they want just on your terms. So $215,000 is what I offered him, is what he wanted. And the consideration for this deal was $500. And then the monthly payment I offered was $1,550 a month. And here's why. So the difference, you might be saying, well, why did you offer to put more down for the subject to versus the lease option? The difference is that aside from the money up front, he's not really getting anything. You know, the seller isn't getting anything. It's still a ideal scenario for me, because the rent, the average rent is this much, so you can do the math and see what the spread would be. So in lieu of him getting any type of cash flow or residual income, I put more down, or offered to put more down. So here in this offer, in this scenario, I'm putting a lot less down because, the seller would get $1,550 minus what he owes on the mortgage. So he'd get about $200 or so a month in cash flow. And then the term was 5 years. So let me tell you which option he went with, if it wasn't obvious already. He went with option number 2. And I think he was probably more so looking for the cash flow and the fact that he could still own the property, as opposed to deeding over the title in this scenario but still being on the hook for the mortgage. So this was more enticing for him, and it's still okay with me because the spread is still there. So I have several different options, or I had several different options, still do, because I have 5 years to trial and error almost. So sandwich lease option would look like, I put $500 down for this price, and then I would market for a tenant buyer to put a lot more down and purchase it for a lot more. And then the term would be like 2 years, 1 to 2 years for them. so I can cash him out sooner than the 5 years. Alright guys, so that's it. That is the video. I hope that you were able to learn from it. If you liked it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up on the video. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below, and make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and share this video all over the internet. Stay tuned for more from me. Go ahead and look down in the description box as well for a lot of different things. You can get contracts from me, purchase leads, you can get a free trial to PropStream membership, and loads of other things. If you want to consult with me, go ahead and schedule down below in the description box. If you want to join my coaching program, that's where you need to go. All right guys, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.